Okay, hey guys, let's see if I can do this without bawling like a little baby. I had been talking about we weren't sure if Lord Apollo wanted to come in. Mm, Sorry. And, the really nasty article that made Loki explode was supposedly a revelation from Apollo about how he hates witches and everything else, right? And your little tiny insignificant witchy self couldn't possibly have Lord Apollo talk to you. It's that really nasty undercurrent you see in paganism lately about how, oh, only I can call down the gods, but you call down some bad thing. So, we have been debating about whether or not to get the Apollo statue, and that really sunk it. It seems like every time the gods want you to take a step forward, they make sure they make it as hard as possible because they're like, well, we can't have you do the labors of Hercules, so let's just make you feel really bad. So, um, I didn't know what to do, and this is still stinging. Long story. This is my divination hand, which it shouldn't be because I'm left-handed. And anyhow, I did not know what to do because my Bing rewards, and this is a relevant story, are not going through. I contacted them, they contacted me back, and it just seemed like a scam because I tried repeatedly to get them to unlock the card and they wouldn't. So I'm like, you know what, floof you. And that meant I would have to pay the full price for the statue. And I'm like, we have the money, I guess, but I had plans. And I still didn't know. After reading that article, and you know how some people are about, you can't work with this god, you can't work with that god. Even though I teach you differently, I apply a different set of rules to myself, because of course I do. And, I got my Oracle deck, and I was calling on Lord Apollo, and I was like, I'm gonna cry again, I'm sorry. Please give me a sign if you want this statue, because Hermes wasn't answering me. And Dionysus wasn't answering me. And I thought he was happy with his sun disk, but I got a thing about money, about knowing when to make a sacrifice and not to, like, have a death grip on your money. So I was like, okay, that's clear sign. And we had gotten clear signs last night, like sunflowers and that. So we went ahead and got the statue. And I'm looking at Loki and I'm like, we'll be okay, but there go any ideas we had of what else to do with that money. And we were happy to make the sacrifice, but I thought, oh, how I always doubt stuff and the logical brain kicks in. And I'm like, oh, that was just random chance, blah, 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 whatever. Well, I had, obviously, because I'm crying, I had this wave of healing energy come over me, and I had all this Apollo stuff come up. And of course, as you're looking at Apollo stuff, there are people that they make their whole entire channel about how they, ooh, message. So Hermes is speaking up about how they hate the pagan gods and how you should turn to Jesus. And this one guy's like, and I didn't even watch this video, but his thing is like, you have to make a choice. Who are you gonna serve? And I'm like, I'm serving Lord Apollo. You can take your choice and go away. And that's when the healing came, and it was just so overpowering. And I saw some of the stuff that we have in our arrangement here on different altars, and it was just overwhelming. And then I put music on, and he's like a god of music. And we were both bawling. We were both getting emotional. So we did a cleansing of the house, and we welcomed Lord Apollo again. And we painted a beautiful sun on the front door. Because I'm like, I'm pretty sure the Christian people, and again, I don't hate Christian people, but the ones around here are really extreme. I'm pretty sure they were the ones kind of knocking that down, because it's a fairly, decent weight sun. It wouldn't have lifted itself up off the hook. So I painted this one on. And if they would disturb that, they better hope they can outrun me. So we painted that on. We went and we painted another sun in the mural, which is now beautiful, and it's now, like, absolutely covering in there. And it was just extremely healing, and I'm surprised I didn't break down in tears, but we're gonna go back to listening to music. We'll probably cry some more, but it's happy tears, guys. It's happy tears. It was just such a relief. It was like, I finally know everything's gonna be okay. And, we have all these divisions in paganism of, like, if you worship these gods, you can't worship these gods. And you can't worship this god if you don't speak this perfect religion, everything else. I tell you guys never to apply that to yourselves, because I usually end up internalizing this stuff, even though I know it's bullcrap. So, Lord Apollo was gracious enough to answer himself. And it was extremely healing. We usually work together at night. When I try to work with him during the day, he loves me and he's always happy to see me, but he's like kind of busy. We work better at night. Lord Hermes is usually the one around here in the daytime, though he's here at night as well. They just kind of all mix things up. So we just wanted to share that with you, but it was so healing, and I'm glad I didn't bawl on camera, and yeah, I dyed my hair again. Okay, but it was really good, and I'm just grateful that it happened. And we have done a lot of redecorating, though you can't tell, but it's really different in here. It probably would look like really small changes, because I'm aware that most of the stuff behind me hasn't changed, but enough has changed. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.